All right, Changemakers 21. We are back. We are with Jerome Harris. Jerome, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, man. I'm truly honored to have you on here. You and I go back, I don't know, 6, 8 months now. We were talking Revitalize before Revitalize became what it is today.
Yeah.
You helped us kind of talk about what our mission was going to be and where we were going to go as we were talking through the evolution of our own organization while heading up another organization. So let's start there. Tell us what you do.
So I'm the founding president of Urban Golf of Greater St. Louis, where we develop students in golf education, after school programming that has a myriad of programming like social emotional learning, etiquette, all those things, and also academic support. So we support our kids in their academic process in school.
So, Jerome, I probably should have covered this with you before we get started, but if I touch on something that is not something you want to talk about, just feel free to call me out and say, let's go. But I'm gonna be really brutally honest with a lot of the things that I say. And I do a segment for my own brand called Unapologetically Us, my business partner and I. So I'm just going to be a little unapologetic here and say this. There's a lot of organizations that do things after school. And what I thought was really unique about your organization, and the reason why I was so happy to see that you were nominated as a change maker, is you take something that traditionally had been seen as set up for a whole nother class of people, a whole nother group of people, a whole nother type of person, and you bridge that gap, which I think is amazing. And you're really crushing stereotypes, which I absolutely love. And I'm curious why you felt inspired to go this direction. Are you a golfer yourself?
Yeah, I play golf, and I tell people that golf chose me. I didn't choose golf. I didn't grow up. Golf wasn't offered in our community, in our school, in the rec centers that I went to as a kid. Golf wasn't offered as a sport. We played other sports like soccer, basketball, football, things of that nature, tennis even. But golf was never, uh, you know, it was never presented to us as something to pursue. And so within my work and community organizing and community leadership, an opportunity came up to work with the PGA
Oh,
Foundation,
wow.
a Reach Foundation Gateway section, and it is through my work in community that I was able to partner and learn a lot of the uh, you know integral things about golf and the sport, and it really just kind of expanded for me. And in that research and involvement, I stumbled upon the black contribution of the game of golf. Golf is generally viewed as a wealthy white sport, members only sort of deal. But if you go back past Tiger Woods, the black contribution is major in the game of golf. And I'll just give you one fact here that you probably didn't know, that you can't start the game without starting off of the tee. Can't start the game without starting off the tee. A black man invented the tee. Doctor, I believe his name is George Grant, has patent and invented the golf tee. When guys were walking around the country club with bags of sand, hitting the ball off of a pile of sand, and the list goes on about the black contribution to the sport, that it is, I take sort of personal to really expose all of these things and opportunities and this community to the students that we serve.
I think that's great. So I used to tell a joke, and it probably isn't funny, but I'll tell you anyway. And it's that I was once labeled a golf prodigy until I finished the story. So the first time I ever played golf, I shot a 70.
Okay. Wow.
First time ever. After those 3 holes, I quit. It was terrible. It was so bad at golf. It wasn't good.
That was good. That's good.
So yeah, I'm not good at golf. But you know what? I want to step back and say I didn't know those things that you just told me about the contribution. What I always find so amazing about Changemakers, and again, one of the reasons why I was so excited to see your name come across the desk of people that were nominated, is that they break down all these barriers of what is supposed to be, right? Like it didn't matter to you what was supposed to be the way that it was supposed to be, because you saw the way that it could be. And that's amazing to me. So I'd like to hear from you some of the success stories, if you could, some of the kids that you've worked with. And I'd like to hear it kind of broad spectrum, right? You talk about academia, you talk about the physical side of it, you talk about safety, because after school, the danger zone is that 3 to 6, I'm told. After school is really a rough time. I think that's probably where you're engaged a lot. So can you share one or two success stories real quickly?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of success stories, but our mission is to prepare students to be successful beyond high school, and we use golf to do that. And so we don't uh, we don't dictate, or we don't tell our students what success is, because success for one kid is just, making it to school every day, without,
For
with
sure.
overcoming a lot of the obstacles and things of that nature that they have at home. And so we have, conjured up a picture of success, college graduates, people who are, in great jobs and things of that nature. But because we take an individualized approach to our student development, we are able to understand what success looks like for our students. And so you know I have these girls that I've been bragging on. They're juniors in college now, but the road to get there was very tough. It was very difficult, especially with attitudes and short tempers and things of that nature. So success for me is not just that they are on a full ride, college scholarship, free paid tuition for school, but the success story for me is they were able to overcome themselves, that they were able to overcome
Wow.
their short fuses, to be able to use their God-given intuition, intellectual ability to apply themselves, to deal with very um, I would say to deal with every situation thoughtfully, to to manage themselves. And so that's the success story for me. Not just that they're in college about to graduate, and they don't have to pay for anything, and that's great. But the success story for me is that they were able to overcome certain barriers that may have been hereditary.
So, Jerome, I'm going to ask you another pretty straightforward question. Why do you do what you do?
That's a great question. I do what I do because the kids that I serve was me. Growing up in the city of St. Louis, single parent household, um, you know, no real accountability to our lives. And so I was a part of the community centers and the recreational centers and things of that nature, and big brothers, big sisters, and all that good stuff. And my big brother at the time, Ray Dennis, he gave me a picture of options that I could have. Bill Hybels, I believe, in his book, he says vision is a picture of the future that produces passion. And it is through
Taking notes.
the influence of my big brother that I got a picture of what my future could be, and it produced passion in me, not to just exist in that picture, but to expose other young people to that picture that produces passion, that continues to produce passion, that will change the narrative or change a picture to what our kids are viewed as.
That's great. Now, I will tell everybody that is watching this, and I'm going to put this up on the screen here, that we are going to put a link. And if you go to our website, revitalizedworld.org, and you go to the Changemakers tab, you will see Urban Golf on there. And you have an opportunity, if you make a donation to Revitalize through this event, you can tag Urban Golf as a recipient of a portion of that donation to make sure that we're continuing to pay it forward and support those that do so much in the community. In 30 seconds or less, Jerome, tell us or tell the people listening that may be inspired by your story or what you're doing, that maybe don't feel like they can do as much as you've done or start where you've started. Tell people how they could just get started doing something. Just a 30-second word of advice to close us out.
30-second word of advice is use your experiences, use your the blessings that God has given to you to create or to really culminate something that you could do. God uses our abilities, our experiences to really just challenge us to do more of how we were changed. So it's through our change that we can be change makers.
Fantastic. Tell your website real quick so people can hear it.
www.ugolfstl.org. That's U as in the letter U, ugolfstl.org.
Awesome. Jerome, thanks so much for being here. Congratulations on being one of the inaugural 2021 Changemakers. And look forward to watching your progress and seeing more of what you're going to do. Thanks for being on here with us. All right, guys, stay tuned. More Changemakers coming up in just a moment.